Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome to Let's Discuss, where we are chatting about, sorry, I can just sense that a tractor is coming down the hill. 1 minute. We are chatting about everything and anything that is really interesting me in the mummy vlogger, family vlogger area on YouTube. It is raining outside, so if the microphone picks up any rain or any loud noise, that is what it is. It was beautiful weather and now it's awful. Okay, so the Sacconejolys. So you know how much I love talking about them. I just love it. I love all their little antics. I hate the fact that they, I love their little antics. I find them really, really interesting. Like, I need to get that straight. Like, their antics proper entertain me. But the fact that they exploit their kids in such a way that we're gonna get into some of that in this video is just, it's just mind-boggling. So a little bit context into what I actually mean by I enjoy their antics. This is what I mean by antics, like Jonathan Joly coming on with the book thing, and then it was like, and this whole manifestation, higher power thing. I don't know, even something so stupid as like the Matt and Anna thing, like little antics which do not involve their kids, I find highly interesting, and I do cover them on this channel. Where I get extremely heated and where you guys and we can all rejoice in saying get them off the internet is just everything else that happens, like everything else to do with the kids, everything else to do with them exploiting Edie, exploiting Amelia's, all of them, and anything else I've ever covered. So yeah, when I say I find them interesting, I find them interesting in the sense that those kind of antics like amuse me, because it's like, oh, what next? Do you know what I mean? And I think to some degree everyone else must agree to some degree as well, bit of a tongue twister, because why, like, it interests you because half the time it's just so random. But yeah, I just thought I'd like double explain that, because obviously like I do not condone and never will condone, and like, I desperately want them to get their kids off of the platform, in the sense that I don't think they should be showcased all the time. That's what I think, like the level of exploitation like needs to end with their kids, but their antics, undeniably quite funny at times. I think I'm going to start off with explaining about Jonathan's basically recently deleted TikTok/Instagram post. I actually saw this. It was up for a couple of days. You guys might have caught it as well. I'm not going to repost the whole thing in its entirety. I'll just post snippets. Because to be honest, it's mostly revolving around one of their kids, and it would just really be their child in it. And I don't love using clips and contents with just their kids in it. So obviously, blurred out, and I'll just add some little bits.
What if your grandma's not around?
Tell my mummy.
But your mummy's not here either.
But it's recently been taken down, but I wasn't fortunate enough. It was an extremely creepy TikTok. You know what Jonathan's like, he posts these really bizarre things, and people were commenting saying, you're one sandwich short of a picnic and all this kind of stuff, which I don't like. At the end of the day, I do firmly believe that Jonathan does struggle with mental health issues, like a lot of us do. I do think that he needs to talk to someone, because of his just erratic changes of behaviour and erratic changing and doing one thing, saying one thing, doing the next, and all this kind of stuff. And it must be extremely tough. I mean, I hate sympathising with him, but it must be extremely tough to go from being on top of YouTube to now being, like Johnny Depp said in the court case, being like Quasimodo, do you know what I mean? Being Cinderella and then being Quasimodo, which is basically what's happened in this situation. I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about Jonathan Joly finding his higher power.
Experience that I had connecting with my higher self.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I am actually I'm not a religious person. I wouldn't say I'm sort of spiritual. I believe that there's definitely something out there, but I would never pinpoint it on just one being. My family are Christian. In fact, all my family are Christian, I think. Religious folk, I used to go to church quite a lot when I was younger. This isn't really anything to do with what he is talking about specifically, but I just wanted to give like a little background into how I feel, which will lead us into, the manifestation and all this kind of stuff.
How do you feel about coincidences? Do you believe in coincidences? Or do you think that coincidences are actually you tuning into the frequency of the universe?
I think that there is something else out there, but I don't ever want to pinpoint it on just one particular thing. I love the idea of reincarnation. I think that that's a beautiful thing. I also believe that people can show their presence to you when it's most needed. I've definitely had experiences in my life where I I have realized that I have felt something or seen someone and all this kind of stuff. I say all of this because Jonathan is now embarking on this almost manifestation period of his life, on this whole manifestation, allowing the universe to make all of his decisions and all of this kind of stuff, but he's not doing a very good job at explaining it, so it's leaving a lot of people confused, a bit like how he did with the book and Domdi and the Giselle thing, all of this kind of stuff. Okay, so he's extremely vague, like he always is, which is the reason why I always say that he needs to go and speak to someone about these things, because he sort of just rants and offloads onto the camera a lot, and then viewers are left going, which is the reason why there was a comment saying he's one sandwich short of a picnic, which I kind of understand, but at the same time, I don't like belittling people's mental health, but I do think that he needs to go speak to anyone. We're going to get into that, so I'm just going to like chapter it as I normally do. So the very first bit that I want to talk about, I'm so sorry if the lighting's really, really bad, by the way, there's just not very good lighting. Okay, so the very first thing that I did want to talk to you about was this recently deleted TikTok. Now, this recently deleted TikTok, and I think it was an Instagram reel as well, was really creepy. He was speaking to his youngest daughter and asking her loads of really intrusive questions, and I will play a couple of those questions right now.
So yeah, what would you do?
I would not be grown up.
What if there was no grown-ups around?
Oh, my friends.
What if there was no friends around?
It was one of those, it was one of those things that you do with friends. I don't know, actually. I remember doing this with a couple of friends when I was younger, maybe going like, and what happens if they weren't there? And then they'll give an answer and they'll be like, well, what happens if that didn't happen and that didn't happen? And you just end up being like, I don't know, but it was just so creepy because the kid looked like she didn't even want to be there. He was asking her all sorts of questions like, if you were in trouble, who would you ask? And she looked a bit awkward. And then when she'd give an answer, he'd go, well, what happens if you didn't have a mum? What happens if you didn't have a house? What happens if you did da-da-da? And it was just so uncomfortable to watch. And I'm quite thankful that I was not the only person that thought that this was just extremely uncomfortable. And like I say, I'm not going to post the whole thing because it's now recently gone and it's mostly just of his child talking. But I definitely was not the only person to think this. And I've managed to find a couple of the comments anyway. So someone said, bit dark and weird. Another person said, what the hell kind of questions are those? What's the point? You are a few sandwiches short of a picnic. Someone else said, you do know this will end up on the dark web, right? Then someone said, what's the point in posting this though? Why not just tell her without filming it and all? What is this, basically? And it is true. It was just like, it had no purpose. It wasn't like a challenge. It wasn't, and I hate children challenges as well, but it wasn't anything to do with that. It was literally just like the most uncomfortable viewing, and the girl had her mouth open quite a lot, which like to some people it might just be like, oh, that's not a big thing. But everyone always tells him that he puts his children in very compromising and just bad angles and all of this. Like we discussed it last time with Edie, with, up her dress was showing and stuff. Like he gets told this all the time and he still thinks it's okay to then post videos and all of this like that, especially coupled with just the context of what he was doing. It was so creepy. It was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable to view, and I'm lucky like it did get taken down in the end. Another thing that I do want to talk about as well is their lack of comments. Now, because they don't really post on YouTube anymore, I've kind of come to this, this theory that actually that basically they're wanting to like okay comments, or they've put like filters on their comments or whatever, because they really don't get that many comments anymore. But it's bizarre because some comments will come through and they'll be really, really negative, but he used to get hundreds and hundreds of comments, and now he gets like most it'll be like 70 or 80 comments, and it's really, really bizarre. Yeah, it's ultra bizarre, and I'm glad that TikTok has gone. Okay, so the next place that we are going to fly to. So Jonathan basically he says he took a month off of YouTube, and he didn't actually take a month off of YouTube because he was still posting these weird, creepy TikToks. He once again, he did this extremely uncomfortable Instagram post, which he knows what he's doing. He puts a copyrighted song over it because of course it's TikTok, and if it's copyrighted, I cannot physically play it here in its entirety or anything. The record label picks up on the fact I've used the song. It will basically like demonetize me and take away it will just take away like my reach and everything like that, which would be extremely annoying. So but yeah, I can't actually play you. It's why YouTubers can't post TikToks with songs in them, because YouTube doesn't like it. They like making the most amount of money, and so do record labels. Anyway, completely beyond the point, Amy.
You're an amazing person. You are an amazing person. Watching this video is a miracle.
Why he has to be shirtless for these things? Like, I'm not saying there's nothing the matter. There's nothing the matter with a man or a woman nipple. I don't mind. Whatever. Nipples are great. I don't have an issue with nipples. But what I'm saying is that why is he always, there's a running theme, whenever he's having these emotional heart-to-heart chats, he's always half naked, and I just can't figure it out. I just don't understand why. Imagine if I was having like a really, really, really crap day, and I decided, instead of making a commentary video, I just came on and I was like, just like wearing a bra or whatever, just like talking to, oh, not even that, just like literally just like talking to you guys with my boobs out, just like, yeah, I'm having a like, I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. But I swear to you, every single time he's having a real crap one, you can bet his nipples are out. And like I said, nothing the matter with nipples. I'm just saying that there's a definite link between Jonathan Joly having a bad day and his nipples are out. Every single time, and it's just something I picked up on. Whatever, they're just nipples. They're just nipples. Treat all nipples the same is what I say. Okay, so what he did is he came back on and he said, I'm tired of pretending to be someone I'm not. And it's like the story that we've already heard a million times before, okay? And he was just saying, I'm going to explain to you how I've managed to, I can't remember exactly what it was, like, I'm going to explain to you how I've managed to like overcome things, or like how I'm choosing to be happy or whatever. And already people are like, yeah, what is it?
You're an amazing person. And today is going to be a good day.
Come on, tell us more information. My camera completely cut out there. The next one he's posting is basically just him going on about having like a higher power and all of this. And then there was another Instagram reel that came out today, like this morning, which was basically going on about coincidences and the universe telling him stuff and all of this kind of stuff. It's basically all linking back to there being a higher power within himself. And then also the universe. It's all extremely vague. And I feel like every single day we're just going to get a little bit more insight into what he's actually talking about.
Also, let's just not completely gloss over the fact that he's back to talking about his invisible friends to his millions of supporters. He's done this before.
He wants to be able to just ask the universe things and the universe will just point him in the right direction. Basically, it sounds a lot like manifestation, and I don't really know a lot about it because, like I say, I don't believe that you can just say, oh, I'm going to manifest this, or oh, I'm just going to let the universe decide.
How do you feel about coincidences? Do you believe in coincidences? Or do you think that coincidences are actually you tuning into the frequency of the universe?
I do believe, weirdly enough, I do sort of believe in karma. This is the reason why I can't say this is what I definitely believe in, because I'm a bit of a mixed pot and I don't actually think there's anything really the matter with that. I believe that there's like some sort of higher power. You could say that that's very godlike. I believe in reincarnation. I'd like to think I come back as something else, or like I believe that your spirit, your body is a vessel and your spirit carries on. You know, I do believe in that. I also, I think people appear, or the universe will show you something if it needs to. This is what I mean. But what I don't believe in, and this may confuse people, what I do not believe in is is just saying, oh, I manifested it. I just thought really, really, really hard about it and really, really, really focused on it and really, really wishing it happened. I believe that if things happen and you say you've manifested it, you've obviously been physically proactive into making that happen. And things of chance and luck are quite rare anyway. So what I'm trying to get at is that Jonathan is going down this route of basically leaving it all down to the universe.
Of this and more of this, you know, and that's going to make sense to some people and it's not going to make sense to some people. I want to share that with you because I know you want to hear it.
And seeing what the universe will do. And I think honestly it's because he's tried everything, but he hasn't really tried anything. What happened to the Anna and Jonathan podcast? We were supposed to be getting a whole podcast. Haven't seen that podcast ever since. We were supposed to be getting like, what's going on with the YouTube members? Are people still paying for that? I did a whole video on that ages ago. There's just so many questions, but I firmly believe that he is just backed into a corner. He doesn't know what to do, and so now he's just trying once again to do these vague videos going on about this whole thing, and he's constantly trying to think of new ways for him to stay relevant or have something new to bring to the table, and this is just another one of those things. So shortly, what followed up with that was him and Edie playing football, which once again I cannot show you the full clip in its entirety because they're using copyrighted music.
Help me prove a theory. If you catch it, I'm going to let the universe choose all my decisions in life.
This is how we're making all our future decisions.
But basically, Jonathan said, this is how we're making all our life decisions right now. And I kind of see it as a joke, but then I also kind of see it as him trying in his own way to explain what he's meaning. So he kicks the ball, and every single time Edie catches the ball, that means that the universe is allowing it to happen. He's saying that by Edie catching the ball, it's really the universe is catching the ball. It's not. Edie's catching the ball. This is what I mean. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. This is Edie catching the ball. It's not the universe. For me, you can believe what you want to believe. I don't believe in it, okay? Some of the questions were, are we going to carry on making TikToks? Edie catches the ball. The universe says yes. Are we going to find a new house to live in during the summer? Which I've been saying for ages. They're going to be moving, and I think they are. There's pretty much, concretes it. Or they're wanting to move. Kicks the ball, catches it. And it's just like, oh God. This is another one of Jonathan Joly's like great schemes, and I kind of like, they do it, it does annoy me, but it does, as long as he's not, in this circumstance, he's only really just like, talking about himself. It's only when he like really drags the kids into it that I get, like earlier, I get a proper bugbear with the whole thing about, the deleted TikTok. I think that's disgusting. But in this circumstance, he's only providing me entertainment, because it's just so typical of him to drop something and then find something else to suddenly talk about and be like, oh, I'm now really into manifestation. And it's only a matter of time before he uses that word, okay? He never said manifestation. He just said the universe was going to grant us our wishes or something, which to me, I might be completely wrong, but to me that sounds like manifestation. So it's only a matter of time before we get a manifestation book by Jonathan Joly. And I just, you know what, if it's just going to carry on down this path, like whenever Jonathan does this, I find it entertaining, but I also at the same point, like, it is sad if he does actually, really need help, or he's just grasping at straws. And I would absolutely love to hear your comments down in the comment section, because we love talking about these guys, and there's always so much good conversation coming up. So anyway, have a wonderful day wherever you guys are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.